This is an advertisement by BetterHelp. January arrives with a sense of expectation and change. But real change is rarely loud or dramatic.
It's noticing what no longer needs to be there. Thoughts you keep turning over even when they're not helping.
And when you live with those long enough, they can start to feel normal until you pause and see them more clearly. That's where perspective helps. Not fixing yourself, just creating space to understand what's been weighing you down.
Therapy can offer that space, a clearer view of your own patterns and what's worth holding on to. BetterHelp makes starting straightforward. You answer a few questions and they match you with a qualified therapist. If it doesn't feel right, you can switch at any time.
Whether you're into New Year's resolutions or not, working to better yourself is something everyone should do. And you don't even need to bulldoze your life to do it. Simply use BetterHelp.
BetterHelp makes it easy to get matched online with a qualified therapist. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/restishistory. That's betterhelp.com/restishistory.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Car shopping shouldn't feel like preparing for a marathon of paperwork. That's why Carvana makes buying and financing your car easy. From start to finish, search thousands of vehicles with great prices. All online, all on your time. And when you're ready, your new car shows up right at your door. It doesn't get better than that. Buy your car the easy way. On Carvana. Delivery fees may apply.
Welcome to The Rest is History. We are at number 2 in the 12 days of Christmas. But the rest is history being the rest is history. We're not really doing the 12 days. We're doing the 13 days, aren't we, Tom?
We
Do you
are.
want to explain why we're doing 13 days for those people who missed day 1?
Well, because the 12 days of Christmas, you can begin them either on Christmas Day or on today, Boxing Day, the 26th of December. Because we're gluttons for punishment. We're we're hedging our bets and we're doing both. So this will be running to the 6th of January.
And for those of you who missed the first one, we chose 2 very light, frivolous subjects.
Yes.
We did the coronation of Charlemagne and the birth
Day.
of the Holy Roman Empire. And then we did the resignation of Mikhail Gorbachev and the end of the USSR. So 2 very jolly, festive, seasonal topics.
Today's... well, they're definitely... One of them is definitely very, very seasonal and festive.
Yes.
And they're both musical.
And they're both jolly, aren't they?
They're both jolly, yes. So I've chosen Good King Wenceslas looking out on the Feast of Stephen when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even. Brightly shone the moon that night, though the frost was cruel, when a poor man came in sight, gathering winter fuel.
Do you not want to sing that? You're not going to sing that?
I'm going to sing it a bit later on.
Oh,
I've
that's
got another
exciting.
verse to sing.
That's something for people to look
But
forward
you
to.
can probably tell from I've got a slightly sore throat.
Yeah. So when are we, Tom?
Well, so when are we? So this carol, very famous one, is written in 1853. The lyrics,
Okay.
by a man called John Mason Neale,
Yeah.
who is Anglo-Catholic. So he's Church of England, which is Protestant, but he's very keen on the kind of Catholic inheritance of the Church of England. So he's keen on saints and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so he's interested in the example of Good King Wenceslas, who is a Bohemian saint from the 10th century. And so the music that he uses is actually, it's not Christmassy, it's associated with Easter.
Ooh.
So it's a 13th century hymn. Tempus adest floridum. So Tempus adest floridum, which means, of course, it's Easter. So,
Okay.
so isn't that amazing? So that's a kind of interesting detail.
That's-
But it, of course, begs the question, so who is Good King Wenceslas?
That's what I want to know. That's what the listeners want to know.
Do you know? He was good, but he wasn't a king.
Was he a duke?
He was a duke. He was the Duke of Bohemia. And he's around the same time as Athelstan. So he's ruling Bohemia at the same time as Athelstan is becoming King of England. So 920s, 930s.
I'm just looking at his dates now. 921 to 935.
Yep. So pretty much exactly the same time as Athelstan.
And he really was. Yes, I'm reading it as we speak. He really was called. He really was called Wenceslas.
Yeah.
I'd assume that was a sort of anglicization of some impenetrable Slavic name, but
he's because he's so saintly and holy. And as we'll discover, because he gets murdered and therefore people say he was martyred, he's posthumously created a king by Otto the Great, who we mentioned yesterday.
Very much a friend of the show.
Very much a friend of the show. Very much a friend of the 12 Days of Christmas. We should try and work Otto the Great into every single episode. So he is, basically he's I think he's the grandson of the Bohemian who converted to Christianity. He's just rushes around, he's a bit like Scrooge after his visit from the three ghosts.
Right.
He just rushes around kind of handing out stuff to poor people. And the original story, but his deeds I think you know better than I could tell you, for as is read in his passion, no one doubts that rising every night from his noble bed with bare feet and only one chamberlain, he went around to God's churches and gave alms generously to widows, orphans, those in prison and afflicted by every difficulty, so much so that he was considered not a prince, but the father of all the wretched. So that story of him seeing a poor man gathering winter fuel, and he summons his page, and they go out, and remember the page struggles. So the page sings, "Sire, the night is darker now, and the wind blows stronger. Fails my heart, I know not how, I can go no longer. Mark my footsteps, good my page, tread thou in them boldly. Thou shalt find the winter's rage, freeze thy blood less coldly." So that's the miracle.
That's beautiful. That was really
lovely. Thank you. So that's the miracle, is that good King Wenceslas, he has he has a thermal quality to his bare feet.
Yeah. He's a radiator.
he's a living saintly radiator. But he has a brother who brilliantly is called Boleslaus the Cruel. So you can imagine them growing up in their Bohemian nursery.
Yeah. Oh,
and there's a massive clue, a huge clue that it's not going to end that well when your brother's called the Cruel.
Boleslaus, I'm looking at this. Boleslaus is 4 years younger.
Yeah.
So he probably is driven mad by Wenceslas's niceness and kindness.
He's Russian. Yes, he can't go out in the snow and warm it up with his radiator-like feet. So he gets cross, and there's a coup, and Wenceslas gets run through by a spear. Some say held by Boleslaus himself.
Oh, golly!
And so Boleslaus is actually quite a good king.
Yeah, I'm reading it here. This is a fascinating story, Tom. It's so fascinating that while you're talking, I'm actually reading a webpage on it.
Okay, we'll contribute.
No, I will contribute. I'll tell you a fact. So, according to tradition, at the very moment that Wenceslas was murdered, Boleslaus had a son. His son was born. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Do you know what his son was called?
I can't remember.
Strashkvas. Do you know what that means?
No.
A dreadful feast.
A dreadful feast? Well, that's fair enough then, isn't it? And did he have a sobriquet?
Does he need a sobriquet? I mean, if you're called a dreadful feast.
Dreadful.
So he doesn't succeed Boleslaus. Boleslaus is succeeded by his eldest son, who's also, do you know what he's called?
No.
Boleslaus the Pious.
Oh, so you've got good King Wenceslas.
Yeah.
Boleslaus the Cruel, Boleslaus the Pious.
It's a real roller coaster for checks, isn't it?
So Bohemian history in the 10th century is great. And the story is Wenceslas for the Bohemians, for the Czechs, is a bit of a King Arthur figure.
Yeah.
So it is thought that he's asleep underneath a mountain, and that when the Czechs need him, he will wake up. Or that there's a large statue of him in Prague in Wenceslas Square.
Yeah.
Aptly enough, and that statue will come alive, and he will lead a procession over the bridge, Charles Bridge, and he will stumble, and as he stumbles, his sword will be revealed.
Ooh.
Brunswick.
That's a good name for a sword. I will say this. If Wenceslas were planning to return, I think he would have done so already.
Yes.
The Czechs had a pretty tough time in the 20th century.
Yeah.
And there were multiple opportunities for him to make his appearance.
But,
and he failed to do so.
Yeah.
Poor. So...
Unless there's worse to come.
Also,
which we hope not.
If surely you'd want Boleslaus the Cruel to come back, wouldn't you? I mean, he's the person you need around. You wouldn't want.
Well, it depends.
Wenceslas go around giving presents to people.
It depends if you're walking barefoot in the winter or not.
I suppose so. Yeah,
because if you're doing that, you definitely want
Red Army tanks in the Prague Spring.
with a
The last man
foot-warming
he wanted was
superpower.
Wenceslas, the Good King Wenceslas.
Well, maybe that's why he didn't come. Maybe the
Yeah.
great crisis facing the Bohemians, the Czechs, will be that they need someone to warm up the pavements with his feet.
Yeah.
And that's what he'll do.
Have you seen this thing that the Czechs have renamed their country in the last few
Czechia.
years? Czechia. Yeah, you see it
Yeah.
on Google Maps
Yeah.
rather than the Czech Republic. Do you think Czechia will catch on?
I wish it was called Bohemia.
But it can't be because of Moravia. The Moravians don't want it to be called Bohemia.
No.
And to call it, because it's actually made up of 3 regions, Bohemia,
I know.
Moravia, and part of Silesia.
But I'm really sad that Bohemia has kind of vanished from the map.
Yeah, it's a good name.
It's a bit like Persia.
Yeah,
There's kind of romance to it.
I agree. There's a great romance to it. It's very 30 Years' War, I always think, kind of.
Well,
Bohemia.
very, very 10th century, I think.
Yeah, well, anyway. So that's Bohemia. That's Good King Wenceslas. Should we take a break now, Tom? Have you got anything
we
more to
should,
say
yeah.
about Good King? Do you want to do more singing? Do you want to sing us out?
No, because when we come back, we're doing Gilbert and Sullivan, aren't we? So
Yeah, and I can
don't
assure
think we should
you,
overload
I'm,
the
not
music.
I'm absolutely not going to be
Are
singing.
you not?
No,
I
because the
sung.
music is lost. So I've got a good
Yeah,
reason.
but you could sing some Gilbert and Sullivan. Very model of a modern major general.
I am
or
the
something
very
like that.
model of a modern major general. Goodbye.
This episode is brought to you by Rocket Money.
Tom, we often talk about how to organise our finances. I'm very conscious that I'm paying for a lot of mad subscriptions. And there's one thing that we've talked about often on this show. It's the thing that we probably hate more than any other, and it's a hidden fee. I would love to get my finances under control. There are all these things piling up on our bank statements, and I think I need to fix this problem. I need to sort this out and to stop this.
I mean, my finances are so chaotic that I need this app.
So I'll tell you what it is. It's called Rocket Money. It's a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending and it helps to lower your bills so that you can grow your savings.
With Rocket Money, you can track all of your subscriptions and you can easily cancel within the app with just a few taps, saving you time, avoiding charges. And you can also set budgets and goals and get personalized insights and regular reports to track how you're doing. They will even send you real-time alerts for large transactions, upcoming bills, refunds, and even low balances. So let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Join at rocketmoney.com/ishistory.
That's rocketmoney.com/ishistory. rocketmoney.com/ishistory.
Hello, welcome back to The Rest is History on Boxing Day, St. Stephen's Day, 26th of December. We've already we've ticked off Good King Wenceslas, Looking Out. And now, Dominic, you have another musical number for us, Gilbert and Sullivan themed.
I do. So Boxing Day is a day of jollity and a day of music.
Boxing.
And a day of, just a day of general sort of hijinks and stuff. So I thought Gilbert and Sullivan would be a great place to come in. So Gilbert and Sullivan, the great kind of Victorian sort of light opera stars of British popular culture, incredibly popular around the world, particularly in America. So if you look at the list of kind of amateur performances and things of Gilbert and Sullivan plays, I mean, the number in America is mind-boggling. But their very first play, Tom, it's a Greek theme, you see. That's why I thought, that's why I picked it. So their very first collaboration in 1871, starting on Boxing Day 1871.
That's the day it opened, is it?
Yes, the day it opened. The Gaiety Theatre was an opera called Thespis, or The Gods Grown Old. So you've got these two characters. You've got Gilbert, who's a bit older, who's the son of a naval surgeon. He does the words. And Sullivan, who's a great composer, son of a military bandmaster, who's born in 1842. And he does the music. Now, Sullivan sees himself as a sort of serious composer, which he was. And unfortunately, he's always, he's sort of, it's the classic
with
thing.
a comedian.
Yeah, it's the classic thing. It's sort of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle trying to escape Sherlock Holmes. That Sullivan is always slightly trying to escape Gilbert and Sullivan, but Gilbert kind of drags him back in with his stories of magic lozenges and things of this pirates
schoolgirls and
all of this sort of stuff. So they get brought together to work on this opera. It's basically a Christmas entertainment. The plan is for it to just run for a few weeks or months. It is advertised as an entirely original grotesque opera in 2 acts.
I like that, a grotesque opera.
A grotesque opera. So if you're going to an opera, you want it to be pretty grotesque, I think.
Yeah.
So the story, do you want to know the story, Tom?
So Thespis is the first actor.
Yeah, the father of drama. Or is he the first actor, or
he's the first? He's the person who first acts in a tragedy.
Yeah, exactly. So the plan is, the story is that basically the gods have grown elderly on Mount Olympus, and they're just bored, and they feel like no one listens to them anymore.
And is this set in ancient Greece or in?
Yeah, in ancient Greece, not modern Greece.
Okay.
So they fancy a change, and they decide that they will swap places with Thespis and his actors. So the actors will come up to Olympus, and the story is basically them trying to rule the universe, and they are terrible at it.
And does hilarity ensue?
It does. So the replacement, do you know the replacement for Mars? Do you know what his name is? Timidon.
Oh, that's
and Timidon. Do you know what's so comic about this? He's a pacifist. He's a pacifist. Yeah. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
The substitute for Hymen, the kind of goddess of goddess of marriage.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to marry anybody. That's the joke. She's a confirmed spinster. And the guy who's replacing Pluto. He
is a spendthrift.
No, he doesn't like anybody dying. Doesn't let anybody die. Doesn't want anyone to come to the underworld.
God, hilarity does ensue.
Yeah, it's mayhem. It's absolute mayhem. It's hilarious. No, the gods down on Earth.
That's what you want of a Boxing Day.
The gods down on Earth are they're shocked by this. Carry on, and they return to Olympus and they kick out the actors and they say, "Go back to Earth. Your fate is to become eminent tragedians whom no one ever goes to see."
That's funny. That's still funny.
And that's what happens. So it runs. So this opens on Boxing Day and it runs for 63 performances.
Which is a success.
Which is a great success. And everybody thinks, a lot of people think it's very funny. The public think it's funny, but the critics are not terribly impressed. So do you want to hear a couple of the reviews?
Yeah.
A publication called The Hornet.
You wouldn't want to be reviewed by The Hornet.
You wouldn't. So the problem is that they review only the premiere, and the premiere is much, much too long. So in the sort of the adverts, the management of the Gaiety Theatre have said you must book your carriages for 11 o'clock, but it's gone past 12, and the play is still going on midnight.
The J-Parade is still.
So the Hornets, the play is actually called Thespis or the Gods Grown Old. But the headline on the Hornets review is Thespis, the Gods Grown Old and Wearisome in capital letters. And the Morning Advertiser says it is a dreary, tedious, two-act rigmarole of a plot, grotesque without wit and the music thin without liveliness. The curtain falls before a yawning and weary audience.
But apart from that, how did you enjoy the play?
Yeah. So the music, I think, is lost. That's why I can't sing it, much as I would like to.
Oh, that is a shame.
Because obviously at that point, no one knows that Gilbert and Sullivan is going to turn out into this tremendous franchise.
But how come they haven't kept the music?
How come they haven't kept the music?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Sullivan just probably dashed it off.
Knocked it off.
Just thought this is a load of old tosh. Make some money out of it.
Quite odd not to have kept it though.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't claim to be a Sullivanologist.
Okay.
So anyway, their next thing is a thing called Trial by Jury. That's, I think, reasonably successful. And then they get into the world of topsy-turvydom. Do you know? Have you seen the film Topsy Turvy?
No.
It's great.
Is that
actually.
the Mike Lee film? No, I haven't.
It's really good.
I've never seen the Gilbert and Sullivan. I don't know anything about them. I mean, I do because I vaguely know.
That Paris of Penzance.
Very modern Major General. And all that
the Mikado, a short, sharp shock.
Yeah. Never
it's the kind of thing. I suppose. I think Gilbert and Sullivan for people of our generation is slightly tainted because it's the kind of thing that's very unlovely.
All that kind of
very
stuff.
Unlovely. Sort of John Major era cabinet ministers would recite at Tory party conferences.
They would. Yes, they
as
would.
part
I have
of
a little list.
of an attack on single mothers.
Yes, it was Peter Lilly, wasn't it?
It was. He sung a bit of Gilbert and Sullivan, and the audience loved it, but the rest of the country was absolutely appalled
and voted for Tony Blair.
Yeah.
Yes,
but I think Gilbert and Sullivan is very jolly. It's all sort of gentle satire of institutions and so on, which still stands.
So should I watch one? You'd recommend I should?
I think the Mikado. I think you should watch Topsy Turvy, the film, because that is brilliant. Jim Broadbent is.
Do I need to know about it?
No, you can know nothing about it at all.
Okay, I'll do that.
It's a brilliant recreation of Victorian England and of that world. And then the most famous ones are probably the Pirates of Penzance and the Mikado.
And the Mikado, yeah.
Though the Mikado is now in danger, isn't it? It's been
Cancelled,
seen as the ultimate cultural appropriation because it's all about Japan. It is
three little maids. 3 Little Maids are we?
Three little maids. I don't know the words, but that's how it goes. Anyway, it's. I've seen the Mikado, and it's very.
They're
jolly.
Chinese, aren't they? No, Japanese, of course. Japanese.
So Gilbert had been to an exhibition of Japanese sort of art and stuff, and that gave him the idea for the Mikado. But it's actually not about Japan. I mean, the joke is it's a kind of parody.
The Great Pooh Bar.
Yeah, the Great Pooh Bar is like the sort of the civil servant.
I mean, it's clearly it's a bit like The Importance of Being Earnest, or that you don't have to have seen it. It's kind of floats around as, vaguely synthesized idea.
And there are these idioms like a short, sharp shock that have sort of penetrated into the language because of Gilbert and Sullivan. They're actually just as popular in America. So you'll see loads of references to it in kind of, that sort of kind of American, tweedy American columnists who will quote Gilbert and Sullivan.
Yes. So the Mikado is genuinely problematic, is it?
I don't think it is genuinely problematic because people fought back against its cancellation because they pointed out it's not meant to be about Japan.
It's about Britain, isn't it?
It's about Britain. It's a satire of Britain. Yeah, exactly. It's that kind of thing. It's a satire of Britain, and it uses the joke is that it's a bad version of Japan and it's not a real.
Well, that's very up to date satire.
So that's so I think everybody should watch. So obviously, Turvey is a brilliant Boxing Day film. It's very jolly.
Well, do you know, Dominic?
Great music.
You've inspired me. I will watch it on Boxing Day. I'll watch it today because, of course, today is Boxing Day. Brilliant. You haven't given the game away that we're recording before. I know, I almost blew it there, but I think we got away with it.
Yeah, I think you did.
So anyway, have a very happy rest of Boxing Day, and we will see you tomorrow with our choices for 2 events that fell on the 27th of December.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to The Rest is History. For bonus episodes, early access, ad-free listening, and access to our chat community, please sign up at restishistorypod.com. That's restishistorypod.com.